about how you came up with this, and I thought maybe it shouldn't be to be continued, it should be coming soon. So why don't you give people a sense of how you came up with Chasing Titles Volume 1 and what the bigger plan was?
Well, initially I wrote the feature, which was just Chasing Titles, which is now turned into Volume 2. I just, just noticing a lot of people really, chasing, more titles, like, worried about what their title is. I'm this and I'm that, and Instagram. And I just started sitting around observing people, and also with name brands, and it inspired me to write Chasing Titles, which is about the kid who really is just trying to be a self-made person and just really chases a whole bunch of so-called dreams. And then I said, you know what, I want to do a short. So this is the backstory of the feature.
What was it like for you working on the film?
Well, it was very different from anything I've ever done because I got to hold a gun. That was very fun. But I was really excited about playing.
And you got to curse.
Brian, I told you at the last premiere, we're not talking about the cursing. I was really excited about playing Caleb because I really like expanding upon the different types of characters that I get to play. And I feel like Caleb has a lot of different layers to him that I got to explore, and I thought that was really nice.
Now, how did you get involved with the film?
From what I heard from my parents, I was asked to play the role of Caleb, and obviously I was excited about being offered a role because that doesn't happen just every day. So I asked my dad if we could meet the director, so we got to meet Mr. Ryan, and it went super well.
It's Mr. Ryan. Is that how that plays out? Mr. Ryan.
Caleb,
I told you.
Brian and I were just
Mr.
talking about that. I
Ryan.
mean,
He's very polite.
On set, Mr. Ryan told me not to change the words. It's like, Mr. Ryan, who?
You guys need to have a father-son talk about that, I think. So, Brian, how did you get involved with this film?
I got the script. It was an offer. Like you were saying, I don't get offered good things usually. They're like, come do this. And it's like an opening of mail or something. But this was really good. This was the character was interesting, and it was fun. And I hadn't talked to Ryan, but I felt like I had texted with him, and he was really passionate about what he was doing, but at the same time was willing to learn, which I liked.
Now, let's talk a little bit about Marcus, because Marcus is intense, to put it mildly, but also there's a genuine empathy and humanity with Marcus. There's that scene, especially, I guess it's not the very first time we see Marcus, but not long afterwards, where you're playing cards and your uncle shows up. And there's this look on your face of like, oh, what the fuck's going to happen here? Like, how is this going to play? And it's very much as if the gangster is also the little boy. And I want to get a sense from you about this character and what you saw in it and what attracted it to you to it.
Well, first of all, I just have to say, working with Opreme Productions and Ryan Egypt was an amazing experience. Honestly, the way I even saw Marcus's breakdown was through Actors Access. I literally saw it on Actors Access and contacted Ryan. Well, I submitted myself for it electronically.
You shot me an email.
But I shot him an email like, yo, what's up, man? My name is Haas, and I want to be in your film. And I sent him my headshot, my resume, my reel, everything. But as I was reading the breakdown of Marcus, honestly, I was like, is that too much for me?
Why?
Well, because I didn't know what to, like, I knew that he was like the leader of the pact, but I felt at some point like, is it going to be the stereotypical leader of the pact? And I was like, I don't know if I really wanted to do that. But so I looked at the other two characters and I was like, I should go, you know what, I'm going for Marcus. So when I submitted and I got the part, after I read the script, I was like, wait a minute, there's a little bit more depth to this character. There's more to him. And
did you guys talk about that on set and
we did.
Oh, we know. We spoke a lot because I felt he's a very intense character. Can you tell them why I flew you down a day earlier?
Yeah, so I came a day earlier because he he put me in a gun range to learn how to shoot the AK-47. I've never held a gun in my life. What was special about Marcus was that he was not typical. You know, I felt like I wanted to, me and Ryan talked about this, and it was like giving a glimpse to the audience of the humanity behind the evil, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. Like, everyone has the potential to be evil. Everyone has the potential to be humanistic. And I felt like in those moments, like, Mark is really, he could have done away with Joe a long time ago. And I kept saying, but why didn't he do it? Why didn't he shoot him and smack him up and beat him up before? Why did he let him go $3,000 in debt? You know, and I felt like, well, maybe it's because he has a family. He has a kid. And I personally, as an actor, I felt like, well, let me take that in and bring that. You know, it's funny because a lot of the stuff that, for me, as an actor, I feel like the stuff that is written for my lines doesn't describe the character. What describes the character is how everyone else views him. Yeah. And I felt like what everyone else was talking about my character was like, I had to bring those elements in to make him breathe a life into him.
So you got the script literally hours before you were about to start filming. How was that for you, and how did you get into that character?
I mean, I've spent the last 10 years knowing how to pick up something quick and using my imagination with every word Ryan gives me in the script to create the world that he sees. So I was given the script, but I trusted the casting director I had known for a while, and so I said, sure, I'll fly to Florida. I've never been to West Palm, but I was like...
From Jersey?
No, I'm from here. But
all right. Just trying to get the Jersey thing here.
I've never been to Jersey, actually. But yeah, so I absorbed the script, and I just started thinking about the circumstances. Like, I have a husband that cares about me to the extent that he'll do anything to make me happy, no matter if that's feeding addiction or lying to our son. And I have never personally had a son. So it's fun to create, I'd birth him when I'm 16, and what circumstances that could bring, with me and Joe's character, our child, like where that started, our relationship before then, we must have been in love, and I mean, we still are in love, and those circumstances where just sometimes, it's not like you're a mistake, little love, but he came into our life and you have to work. It's like, perhaps, I imagined that our relationship was strong and beautiful and working well, and then I become pregnant, and we have to do whatever it takes to keep him alive and put the roof over our head and still be happy ourselves as parents. And that's human, and it's real. It's every parent out there has those obstacles, maybe not those exact ones, but they have their own needs and their love for their child.
Why did you decide to set it in Florida? I mean, you're a Jersey guy.
I am, but I moved to.
Hey, look, I'm from New York. I can diss anybody I like, right?
No, yeah. So I moved to Palm Beach in 2001, and when I was writing this, when I was writing the feature, I wrote this here in LA, but when I was writing the feature, all my visualization and how I played the movie in my head over and over and over again as I was writing had more of the Palm Beach aesthetics. So when it got to the short, it was kind of the same thing, because now he's a kid now. We're going back 7 years. If you notice on the screen, you see 2011. That's why, you kind of go back. And I wanted to keep it authentic. I put so much into this film, and I didn't want to take any shortcuts in any way. I didn't want to take any shortcuts on pre-production. I wanted to make sure the production was well. It was got the right right cast.
Is there a sort of vibe for you for Florida? Because some directors talk about like the location, the setting is almost as much as the actors. It's like that kind of informs everything that's around you.
It was more about going into the unknown, right? I'm going into the unknown of film. I have never done this before. My visuals are speaking Florida, Palm Beachy, right? Not even Miami. I'm very familiar with all three counties. I lived in all three counties in South Florida. But I said, okay, let's just minimize the unknown and not try to replicate Palm Beach. Let's just let's just stick to the authenticity of what I see visually. Let's just keep it like that. It costs a lot more to do that, but I went with that.